All right, so I wanted to show you this pop the balloon segment. I think there's this guy. Well, I'm gonna let you see it, but this guy who comes on next, he did a really good job, in my opinion, of handling himself, and there were some good takeaways that I think that we could talk about from this segment.
Okay.
All right, let's get started.
All right, let's go ahead and bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome in. I'll have you take that. What's your name?
My name is Chandler.
Chandler?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Here's my one thing about this show. These people be popping them balloons so aggressively.
Yes.
Like that girl, right? The first girl who popped, it was like she was trying to like kill the balloon, not pop it.
Also, it's like, bruh, he barely came out the shadows. Give this brother
He
a
ain't
second
said
to
a
even come
word.
out.
He ain't said a word.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yes.
Okay, and Chandler, how old are you?
28.
28, and what do you do?
I'm a fraud analyst. So I just look at customers' accounts, make sure that their fraudulent use of their account number, just pay them back if it's a fraud case. If not, I just deny the claim off the evidence I found.
Got a bunch of scammers here, I guess.
I see. They ain't like that. They ain't like that. My man had a good job.
A respectable job. He speaks very clearly. Like,
Yeah, they ain't like that he was a fraud analyst. Huh? That's new for me.
right.
Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what are some things you look for in a woman?
Yeah, just kind of like my other half, you know what I mean? Someone that compliments me, someone that's, by my side, definitely loves me for just me, you know?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. Now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Definitely like kids with multiple men. And just closed-mindedness, not willing to just try new things and, just be spontaneous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we did get a couple of pop balloons.
Of course.
Let's go over to just a few of these ladies, see why they ended up popping their balloon.
Of course,
Okay,
of course.
let's start over here. We can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name's Kayla. I'm 23. I just popped it just because I don't like your outfit.
Sure.
I like your face. I like your height. I like everything about you. Like, if you had something different on, I would definitely be like, pick me.
So
But yeah.
my next question for you is what kind of outfit would you expect me to like wear? What would you?
Not a flannel because it's hot. Other than that, maybe if you would have just took, anime. Not that either. Pokemon.
That's a deal
I think
breaker.
no, I don't know. It's just childish. But if you would have probably took the flannel off, maybe
Sure.
it would have gave a little bit more. But you making me hot standing in front of me. So yeah.
Sure.
But that's it.
No worries.
Your name's Chandler.
Yeah.
It's so
Like the city.
interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
No worries.
First of all, she's 23. She's young. I get that. When I was 23, I wouldn't have made the best decisions either. I just don't understand why the whole outfit was a deal breaker. It can't be because it's hot. Like, because if it was wintertime, then it would be fine, right? You know what I mean? Like, if he's not hot, who cares? And I felt like the outfit was very coordinated. Like the sneakers, if you check them out, like there's some nice kicks and they coordinate really well with the rest of the outfit. It's his style. It is very casual. I see that the girls are dressed up. And so maybe they expected him to dress up. But like, once again, it's given superficial because strip that brother down or change an outfit and you mean to tell me all he do is change an outfit and then he can get a date with you? Like, we're not saying marry him. Like, it's the date.
Yeah, I think what happens on this show is people give disingenuous answers. So I don't think it's just the fit. I think
either.
it's the vibe of the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything, so you can't base it on his character. You can't base it on, he said the wrong thing. I think it's just that when they're asked, well, why don't you want to match with him? They just give, maybe the top reason or a reason, but I think it's more so that she just don't like the brother's vibe.
Yeah, she might think he's corny or something like that.
She talked about anime. She talked about, it was more than just like the aesthetic of the fit. Like she called him childish. She don't even like the dude's name.
That got me too. Like, but it's all given like she's thinking he maybe has more of a white vibe than a black man vibe. And like, yeah, to me, it is a superficial social kind of a thing. Like looking at it from that, it's like he's kind of like laid back. And so she feels like she could step all over him. He's not giving aggressive black man, like put you in your place, shake you up a little bit. He's giving very chill, calm, kind vibes. And I'll be honest, when I was young, like, you know, all me and my friends wanted a bad boy. You wanted a guy who was rough and scruff and could kick everyone's butt, but, you know, he had a soft spot for his girl. But when you get older, you start to realize that soft spot, you know, has limits. Like, you make that man angry and that aggression comes towards you. So it's just like imbalance. And I don't know. I just feel like when girls see guys like this, they think he's a nice guy. Which, as I become older, give me a nice guy.
Let me ask you this question. Especially in our culture, you know, I know a lot of people who grew up in single parent homes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but I always wondered if that whole thing stems from, and I don't know her family history, but I wonder if that kind of mindset is pervasive even more so when you didn't have a father growing up. It's almost like you're looking for
what you think
what
a
you
man
think
is supposed to look like.
Right, what you think you were supposed to have
and
growing up.
A woman who's raising children on her own is a little bit more self-sufficient, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more
masculine,
dominant. And so if you haven't seen what that looks like in the home, you may think a man needs to be even more dominant than that. And then we're looking at that toxic masculinity. We're looking at that over aggression, not being able to correctly express emotions, because that's what you're getting if you see your mother who's already had to be more dominant than she should have had to been, and you're expecting a man to be even more dominant than that.
That's deep. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Thank you.
I would have,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, is Kayla someone that's your type?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I like the braids. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, tattoos are cool.
Thank you.
She's definitely someone I would approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I think something interesting, I see it all the time on these Pop the Balloon shows. You know, if he was to say what she said to him, like, of course, you know, like she'd probably get defensive or she'd probably try to cook him or something. And, you know, I be reading the comments too. People don't like when men can be super direct with women.
Yeah.
But also, like, when it was his turn to give his feedback, I always see it in the eyes. Like, I always see it in women's eyes. It's like, oh, now you're vulnerable, you know? And I just appreciated that he didn't he didn't take advantage of that. He just kept it very cordial, very polite. And I believe he was honest. Like, he said, yeah, I think she's attractive.
Yeah, he just seems confident, like he didn't have to dog her.
Exactly. It's hard to, like, when someone tells you that you ugly or someone tells you you're not attractive, to then tell them they're attractive. All right. So I think that speaks to a different issue. You know, in the Bible, God talks about when people curse you, you should bless them. And in his own little way, like, that's kind of like what he did. Was like, he didn't curse her back out. He didn't stoop to her level. He just kept it very, like I said, very cordial. But
that shows like a emotional stability and like confidence. Like, he didn't feel like he had to read her for filth. He didn't have to tell her who she was and, you know, retaliate because he's confident in who he is. He likes his anime. He likes his outfit. He feels comfortable. And he's like, well, if that's not what you like, you know, you're still beautiful too. Yeah. There's a level of confidence in that. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, lack of toxicity is what it's giving.
Right.
I'm Lex, I'm 23, and you're just not my type.
No worries.
Like, your whole aesthetic is just not, it doesn't fit me.
Sure. No worries.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
All right. And now, is Lex someone that you would approach?
Yeah, no, she's beautiful. Yeah. Love the hairstyle, love the dress. Tattoos are cool. Yeah, everything's cool. Yeah, she's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you, Lex. And we did get one down here as well. Let's go over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
Hi, my name is Sierra. I'm 22 years of age.
Yeah.
And I just popped because
Even though I don't really know you, but based off of physical attraction, I'm not necessarily attracted.
Totally.
But that's really it.
Yeah, no, I respect
I love
it.
your freckles. I have
Thank you.
freckles. Yeah, you're really handsome.
Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Now, is she also someone that you would approach?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Eyes are beautiful. Hair is great. Dress is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's super beautiful. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I liked her response because she was direct in saying, I'm just not attracted to
Right,
you,
and
which
there's
is
nothing
nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing.
But she didn't have to like demean him. She didn't have to like pick him apart. And she, say I'm not attracted to you, but she found ways to compliment him.
She
and
told
say,
him he was attractive,
handsome.
and
She found
showed his
something about him.
freckles,
Right.
yeah, which means she was paying attention,
Right.
and it wasn't like you said about those things, those superficial things.
Right.
It just wasn't
right.
attractive.
Just wasn't a general. And I think that even the girl before too was the same way. Because when you're not attracted to somebody, and it's just like it's a short conversation,
right.
You
don't have
can
to
be
dog
direct.
them out. Like she's just, you're just not my type.
That's it.
And that's fine. There's
And-
nothing wrong with that.
And anybody can accept that, But when you start saying, your name is Chandler,
Right. Or
right? That's like,
it's hot outside, and why
Yeah.
are you in a flannel shirt?
yeah,
Like,
it's given like you've been hurt. Maybe you've been hurt on the show because I've seen these girls before.
Yeah.
So maybe you're trying to overcompensate for something.
yeah.
I don't know, but
Let's go over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
I'm Jazz. I'm 26. I pop really because I feel like we would be more friends. I'm a very not aggressive, but I'm a very dominant person, and I just can't see you being overly dominant over me. So I just feel like we'd be better as friends.
Interesting. Okay, so you feel that I would not be the dominant one.
I just feel like you'd be passive, and I don't. Not like there's nothing wrong with that. That's just I just feel, which is fine if you're passive, just not for me.
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Coming from a family of very strong women, I see where she's saying, like, the dominant side, but, in my family, the women had to raise their kids themselves as single mothers. And so then you had to become dominant. And she's giving vibes to me that she's a little older than the other girls. She might have been taking care of herself for a lot longer. And so that dominance is strong. But for her to just automatically assume that he is too passive for her is giving me red flags, just because it's like, then you're looking for more aggression and a more, like I said before, a dominance over you, which at that point, if you're already overly dominant and you're looking for someone more dominant, you're looking for an aggression that's not healthy and that's more toxic. Another thing I gather from her is, no offense to her at all, but that is a tunic that is not a dress. I think there's multiple factors here, but it's kind of giving me a toxic vibe, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, like, we don't know the backstory on all these people, but we do know a lot of people come from broken homes. I just think even using the words dominant, that's not how, like, when I think of a relationship with a woman, I'm not thinking I want to dominate her.
Right.
Like, I'm not, like, that's, like, if that's the mindset, it's like, you're not even ready for a relationship with a man, period, because you have some healing to do. Because
That's a toxic statement.
there are, as we've been married almost 8 years, there's no winners when you fight. There's no winners when you argue. There's no winners.
And your name, age, and why you ended up popping.
Hi, I'm Esther. I am 23.
23.
I have some reasons for you. You're ready
what's up?
for them? Okay, so I like that you find beauty in everyone.
Yeah.
The ladies here are gorgeous. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
I feel like you should know exactly what you want.
Oh, I do. Trust me.
Okay. All right.
It's locked in. Trust me. I already know.
Because she did ask, like, is she your type? And you kept saying yes and yes and yes. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I love chocolate. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of beautiful black women here. So,
Back then.
yeah.
Okay.
Trust me.
Second reason, if I could just take the shoes, I'll take the shoes, right? And then just strip all of that. Keep the face. You're handsome.
Wait, so you don't like the sneakers?
No, I like the sneakers.
Okay.
This, gone.
Oh, okay. So the rest is
Outfit, the clothes.
Okay. Which, honestly, it's something that you can change.
Yeah,
I get that
without a doubt.
as well.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you kind of knew what we were going to look like?
Okay, so this is my next question. Because I've seen a few of these videos, and a lot of women have like straight up flamed men off like wearing suits, off wearing like what they're comfortable with. So you tell me, like, what do you want your man to like? How do you want your man to dress? How do you want your man to look?
Would you dress like this on a first date with me?
Yes, this is what I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
This is who I am.
Hey, I love that. I respect that. It's just if like you dress like that on the first date, I would probably also
So then my next question is, how do you want your man to dress on the first date?
bring back that dark skin man. That
So do with the open.
Oh.
Yeah. My brother. Yeah. Okay.
your brother.
Yeah.
Learn a few things.
Got it. For sure.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, you're handsome. Your answers have been great. Your questions have been great. I like your face. Like I said, it's just the outfit. Besides that, maybe. Who knows?
Copy. Got you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And now, is she someone that is your type?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I love beautiful black women. You know what I mean? Dresses, fantastic. Everything's on point. So I have no problem with this. So yeah, she's great.
Cool. Thanks. You can have your name and age.
Hi, my name is Mishna. I'm 23.
Okay. And Mishna, why do you still have your balloon unpopped?
Well, with all of my fellow colleagues, they had a lot of good points, but I feel like when it comes to your outfit, you could always change your clothes.
Yeah.
And I feel like when she was talking about anime, I'm a big anime nerd.
Perfect.
And she was saying, oh, anime is childish. So I'm like,
That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
but I just felt like you seemed like a really cool individual. You seemed really laid back. And the way you were responding to the other ladies' answers, it wasn't defensive. It wasn't like, well, I know I'm good looking. Like, but you seem very nice. You seem very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm looking for someone nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So let's walk on up here. Come on up. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm with that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any final questions between either one of you before we move forward?
What is your type for the entire row? I just want to, do you have a type? Or is everyone your type?
No, definitely not everyone. You know, I grew up in a like predominantly like my father and my mother, and they are both just black. So this beautiful black woman, you know what I mean? Like someone that just loves me for me, you know, like I want to like keep the bloodline just like good, you know what I mean? Like
Strong.
exactly, like black is black, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's just as really as simple as that. Like I just seen good, beautiful black love, and that's what I want. It's just
As you should.
beautiful black love.
should.
You know what I mean?
Where would you take someone on your, like,
Not someone you.
sorry, you're right. Sorry.
He said a lot right there, and I think it's important to address. He's seen beautiful black love. So he's seen a healthy marriage and relationship, it seems like, and he loves black women. Like anybody who's trying to, like these women over here trying to like question his blackness, this right there says it. Like he loves black women, is his type. And so I appreciate that, because people can have other types. If you like light skin, if you like dark skin, whatever, that's fine. But the fact that he didn't even go into that colorism, it was just, I just want a black woman that loves me and I can love. Just, it's giving healthy. Yeah, it just seems pretty healthy to me, that the way he's viewing that.
Yeah, it seems like he was less concerned about the outward appearance, and more concerned with the person he was going to match with. And like he said, he wanted somebody who was going to appreciate him for who he was, rather than what he looks like, what he wears. And so I feel like he matched with the right person. She was able to see through. I mean, or at least just not care so much about clothes, because you can change those things. And she was looking at his character. She saw he was a kind person. He was a laid back person, qualities that, were, intrinsic qualities that should be desirable to somebody looking for a mate. So, I think that, I'm glad he matched with her. I'm glad she matched with him.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot of good things in common. Anime and things that he likes, and I feel like she'll appreciate some of the stuff he likes. They can do stuff together and things like that.
You're right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you.
I apologize.
Yeah, where we going on our first date? Yeah. So I'm like big on like, I kind of like for a first date, I'm really big on like the picnic kind of setup. I know it's a little hot for that, but we can do like an afternoon to the sunset kind of like picnic date. You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? With just like the sandwiches, the grapes, the water, the blanket. You feel me? Just enjoying the scenery, enjoying each other's company.
Strawberry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Even with him describing the date, they don't want him.
Right.
It's crazy. They don't like picnics.
Right. What's wrong with a
What's wrong with a
picnic?
picnic.
like I'm just a lover boy at the end of the day. So definitely just looking for.
Take my balloon. You can have it.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me ask my little final question. So, is it a yes for you for him?
It's a yes. I like him.
So is it a yes for you for her?
Definitely.
We got it. Okay, I'll take this.
This for me feels like the scenario where nice guys finish last kind of thing. Except he got a woman who, luckily there was a woman there who was wise and she sees the value in someone who's I don't want to use the word nice but kind, who has a good head on his shoulders. He's not displaying any toxicity. He's able to take feedback and respond with kindness, not stoop down to the level of some of the insults he got. I just think that, I think it's a lesson where, as men and women who are followers of Christ, it shrinks the dating pool.
Yeah.
Because, you're showing up a certain way in this world and you're looking for somebody who's showing up the same way, and there's just not too many people who align. I'm not saying either of them are Christian, but overall just displaying certain levels of integrity and character. It's just not too many people out here who value and display that. And it shortens even more when you talk about, believing in Jesus on top of that. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of people who believe in Jesus and follow Jesus. I'm just saying it shortens the dating pool when you choose to follow Jesus.
It does.
It shrinks it. And it's important, the lesson I learned from this man is that, he stuck to who he was. As Christians, we need to stick to who we are as followers of Christ, not compromise on who we are just because of what other people may think about us or they may reject us, and put our faith in God and follow him and trust that he's going to provide the person, the thing, the blessing that's best for us, instead of us trying to manipulate ourselves to get what we think is a blessing, which a lot of times isn't. So
Yeah, lesson I got from this was waiting. She waited. She didn't just pop her balloon. She waited. She wanted to see what had to be said. She described, she heard him. She observed qualities. She gave him a chance to show him who he was, show her who he was. And that was important to me because what's the point in popping your balloon right away? What's the point in making a rash judgment right away? Why don't you take your time? And I think that's another thing that sometimes we overlook, taking our time and waiting in God's time, because some things aren't going to happen right away. And you may need some time. And so that is something that I grasped from this as well, like that patience and that waiting.
Yeah, this was a good one. I'm glad I watched it.